Hey there, year 9s. So I'm just going to make this video, instead of me taking up in the Zoom, I'm just going to make you a video to watch. Feel free to pause it as I'm going, just so that you guys can be following up and taking up your own work and self-assessing how you're doing. So the first one, angle shown here to be named. So remember, this is always going to be the middle letter. So whenever you write this, it's going to be angle P, Q, R, if I'm going in this direction here with naming. The other way you can start is you can start and go in this direction, which would be angle RQP. So any one of these with without a middle letter, you know, cannot be. So those are all incorrect. So those are definitely wrong. So then you're left with these two. You see that they didn't start it with a R, so they started with a P. PQP makes no sense, so it's not that one. PQR, PQR. This one is correct. Complementary angles. Complementary angles add up to or have a sum of 90 degrees. So that one is nice and easy. Sorry. A reflex angle is between 180 and 360, so that should be pretty simple, straightforward. D, look carefully, you're reading since it's past 90. You're not reading from this side, you're reading from right here. It's between 160 and 170. If you look carefully, it's about 165. There's D, it's 165. That should be pretty straightforward. So that was a lot of pretty straightforward things from year 7. Now we start moving to a couple more year 8 topics, the value of A. So with these, if you use some visualization, know that these are both parallel lines. These go back to some of the things that we've done earlier. You know that this angle and this angle add to 180. So that's a 180 degree right there. You know that this angle and this angle are equal. So A, this angle right here, angle A, and this angle right here would be equal. And as a result, this angle here and this angle E here would also be the same. So if you know that 115 is the value of this angle here, you can take 180, which is the sum of these two angles together. Take 180, subtract 115, and I would get 65 for the value of this angle right here. 65 for this angle right here. And you know that this angle and this angle here are equal. They are the same because these lines are parallel and the transversal cuts it. So the answer here is E. Alright, so with these, this is where you start using all the different rules that you've been taught. So you know that this here adds to 90. 90 minus 70 equals 20 degrees, and 20 degrees is the value for A. For this next one, B, you know that these two angles add to 360. If you take 360 and subtract 130, you're going to get the angle of 230 degrees for this one. So that should be 230. This was 20. There we go. Alright, so keep going. You know that these two angles add to 180 degrees. So if you took 180 and subtracted 145, you would get 35 degrees. Because these are vertically opposite angles, A and 41 degrees are the exact same. I need to do no work to figure that out. They are just equal, just like this angle here and this angle here would also be equal. Okay. So because this is a right angle right here, you know that this is also a right angle right here between this arm and this arm here. There's a right angle. So that all adds to 90 degrees. If you took 90 degrees, subtracted 75, you would get 15 degrees. So E would be 15 degrees. Similarly here, this is a right angle again. You would take 90 degrees, subtract 52 degrees to get 38 degrees. That's for F. This we struggled with in class. Some people really had a hard time with these. So I know, first of all, that this is 180 degrees. I know that the 180 degrees is formed by A and 2A being combined together. I know if I take A and add, if I take 1A, because don't forget my 1 is right there, I just didn't write it. If I take 1A and add 2A, that makes 3A, and that's what 180 equals. If I divide by 3, A equals 180 divided by 3, which is 60. So G, 60 degrees. H, same idea. So you know that this is all the way around 360 degrees. You know it's made by adding A and 2A, same as what we did over here. So A plus 2A is 3A, and that equals 360 degrees. If I take 360, if I take 360 divided by 3, it makes 120 degrees. And when I look at it, I got to geez, oh boy, got it to go away. That looks like about 120 degree angle. That makes sense. And then if I took 100 multiplied by 2, that does make sense. That's about 240 there. So A would be, as I said, 120 for this one. Next one. So same idea. So we have 90 degrees as total. It's made by adding A plus 30. So A plus A is 2A plus 30 equals 90. I'll subtract 30, subtract 30. Can you tell that it's time for classes to change here? 90 minus 30 is 60. So I divide by 2, I get A equals 30. These are right out of your textbook. So right out of your textbook, or not in your textbook, right out of the activities I got you to do. It's pretty straightforward. So which ones are vertically opposite? So vertically opposite would be an example right here, right here. Horizontally opposite would be these two angles. Horizontally opposite would be these two angles. So I said A and B. Co-interior. So co-interior would be these two. They're both on the inside. So co-interior. And with co-interior angles, they add to 180. C, alternate. Alternate angles would be A and C. So notice they're alternating and equal. So A and C would be an example of that. D would be corresponding angles. Corresponding angles, C and B would be corresponding angles, C and B. Another example corresponding would be A and this angle right here. A and this angle right here would be corresponding. D and this angle right here would be another example. Finally, a supplementary but not co-interior would be D and B. Supplementary, okay, add to 180, but not on the inside, co-interior. So that would be D and B. Okay, I've done the first sheet. Second sheet. These get a little bit trickier now, so you're having to apply what you've just written down and looked at. So the first one here, you know that this angle here is 80. You know that these are parallel lines. You know this angle is 80. You know that this angle here, angle A, and this angle here are equal. They're going to be the same value. They have the same value because they are also corresponding angles. So this angle here would be the same as this angle here. So to find this angle right here, we can just go 180 degrees minus 80 because that's the value there. You know they add to 80, so that's going to be a 100-degree angle, and that looks about right. And you know that because they're corresponding angles, A is 100 degrees. B, these are co-interior angles. So you know that they kind of extend because they're parallel lines. Here's your transversal right here. It's very close to perpendicular. And you know that these two angles add to 180. So it would be these two angles add to 180. I would then subtract 85. And I would get 95 degrees. Okay. So with this one, I'll just take a second and I'd like to extend that out so you can visualize your parallel lines right here. So these are our parallel lines right here. Here's your transversal right here. So this kind of keeps on going. This keeps on going. So these are parallel lines. I know that by extending it a bit, it doesn't look super neat, but that kind of helps you out a little bit. The next thing I want to make sure you understand is that this is an example. I would use the alternate angle. So A is alternate to this angle right here, this angle that we're trying to find right here. So these two angles are alternate angles. They're going to be equal. Now if I have a triangle right here, you can see the triangle right here. If I have a triangle, I have 2 angles. I can find the third angle because I know any triangle, the interior angles add to 180. So I know it's 59 plus 70 plus this unknown angle, we'll just call it x, equals 180. So if I go 59 plus 70 is 129 plus x equals 180, and now I can take 129, x equals 180 minus 129, and I got 51 degrees for this angle right here. So that's 51 degrees right there, and because they're alternate angles, this angle here and this angle here are equal. So C is 51 degrees. All right, D. I know that this angle right here and this angle right here are equal. I know that these two angles, this angle, will add to 180. I know that 180 minus 150 is going to be 30 degrees right there. And I know that this is going to be 30 degrees right there. So D is 30 degrees. All right. I know that this angle right here is going to be equal to angle A. I know that these 3 angles add to 360. I know that it's 360 equals 140 degrees plus, that's a 90 degree right there, plus we don't know that angle. 140 plus 90, I have 230. And then I would take 360, subtract 230 to get, this is a 130 degree angle. And I got 130 degrees there. Okay. This next one, I'm trying to remember how I figured it out. It took me a little bit of time to figure it out. I did work at it a bit, so I'm just going to take a second. I'm just going to extend my lines out here. I might just even talk through it and try to figure it out on the spot without some rehearsal. Okay. So I've extended things out. So number one piece of information that's helpful to us is we need to find A. We've got 32 degrees right here. We know, oh, I just figured a really easy way, just saw a really easy way. We know that this angle here and this angle here are both alternate angles. So that means that they're equal. So this angle right here is 32 degrees. We also know that this forms a triangle right here. We know that that forms a triangle right there. When you have a triangle right there, that means that you can also determine this angle because these 3 angles will combine to make 180. So the interior angles of a triangle is 180 is equal to 70 plus 32 plus A. 70 plus 32 is 102 plus A, and that equals to 180. If I take my 180 and subtract 102 from it, because I'm going to isolate for A. And that is 78 degrees. In my opinion, that's one of the trickier ones. Not horribly tricky, but tricky. These ones I thought were all very, very straightforward. Remember, all the inside angles of a triangle add to 180. If you don't know why, I showed the other day that S, which is the sum of the inside angles, is equal to 180 multiplied by n minus 2, where n is the number of sides. So I've got 1, 2, 3 sides. N minus 2 would be 3 minus 2. What's 180 times 1? Yes, that's right, 180. So That's how you know if you're just unsure and you want to figure it out. So all you have to do is you take 120 plus 25, and then you go 180 minus 145, and I got 35 degrees. So these are all really easy ones. Tricky one is this one, only gives you one angle, but it also tells you that these two sides are equal. That means this is also a 75-degree angle. That one was a little tricky. And as a result, when you add them all up, you get A to be 30 degrees. This one's a little tricky because it gives you only one angle, but it also tells you that this side, and this side are all equal. So all I would do is I take 180 and divide it evenly amongst the three angles to get 60 degrees. This one's pretty easy. Don't forget that that's a right angle. For D, I got 19 degrees. This one's really easy. Add these two up, subtract them from 180, and I got 27 degrees. And finally, this one's also very easy. You just know the answer should be greater than 90, and I got 132 degrees because it's an obtuse angle. Last side. Again, if you don't know what the interior angles of a quadrilateral are, you would say S equals 180, N minus 2. Number of sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. What's 4 minus 2? 2. 180 times 2 is 360. So the inside angles of these shapes add to 180. Oh, sorry, add to 360. Sorry about that. So you know that because this is parallel to this, these angles are equal. And this is parallel to this. You know that these angles are equal and these angles are equal. So B is 32 or 82 degrees. That should be pretty easy. So what I'm going to do for A is I know that it's 360 is the total degrees. I know that these two are both 82. Or sorry, I'm going to subtract 82 times 2. So 360 subtract 82 times 2. Oops, I should have used brackets. Minus bracket 82 times 2, close bracket. I'm sure that your calculators do BEDMAS properly, but I just want to make sure that I'm showing good mathematical representation. Okay, good. So 196. 196 is these two angles right here and here combined. So I take 196, divide by 2 to get 98. Are these slightly larger than 90-degree angles? Yeah, they are. So A is going to be 98 degrees. All right, so that's pretty good for that first one. Second one, I'll figure out A first. I'll figure out A first because we have the information right here, and we know that these two angles add to 180. So I take 180, subtract 95 to get 85 degrees. The next thing I do is I know that these four angles all add to 360. I know that that's a 90-degree angle. So I'd say 360 equals A is 85 degrees. This is 79 degrees. This is 90 degrees, and we then have B. Add them all up. 85 plus 79 plus 90 is 254 of 6 plus B. I subtract 254. I subtract 254. B equals 360 minus 254 to get a 106-degree angle. Does that look like it's greater than 90? Yes, it does look like that, so I know my answer is reasonable. Finally, these two, you know that they add to 360, so don't forget that they add to 360 all the way around. Let me move it over so it's a little bit clearer. Okay, so number one, you know that these three angles will add, these four angles will all add to 360. So to find A, I'm going to go 360 is made up of 30 degrees plus 47 degrees plus 52 degrees plus A. That's going to find A because it's the angles inside the quadrilateral. Okay, so 30 plus 47 plus 52 is 129 plus A is equal to 360. I now take 360 and subtract 129 because I got to move 129 over. And I got a 231 degree angle. Does that make sense for here? Does that look like it's an angle greater than 180? Yeah, it definitely is. So A makes sense at 231 degrees. Perfect. The next thing is we need to find B. B, you know that A and B form a complete revolution, or 360 degrees. So I just need to figure out what's the other side of that. And really, it's the math we just did. It's really just the math we just did, because the other angle is going to be the 129. So if you took the value of this one, 231, and you subtract it from 360, you're going to get 129, which is B. Which is the other angle. Hope that helps you out. Hope you're all doing well. I will see you face-to-face definitely on Monday. If not, I'll see you on Thursday or Friday. I hope that was helpful. Take care.